We had a cold front that came through last night, and we are dealing with the impacts from that today, that's for sure. And that's just going to continue this weekend, but high pressure in control. We are seeing some sunshine. It's dry outside. We still have a little bit of wind, but man, it was extremely windy late last night, yesterday evening, through very early this morning. We had a wind gust at 52 miles an hour here in Oklahoma City, but a gust of up to 60 down in Medicine Park. So yeah, a lot of people seeing those wind gusts over 40 miles an hour started yesterday evening. But now we've got to talk about what we've been talking about for the past several days now. It's been showing up, and it is still very much a part of our forecast. We've got to talk about the ice that we are expecting. So here's the thing. Temperatures over the next couple of days are going to stay below freezing. But by the time we get into Sunday afternoon, we should be above freezing. But by the time we get into Sunday evening, Sunday night, those temperatures start going back down. And that is when the rain is going to be moving in out of the south. And unfortunately for us, that means we're looking at freezing rain, especially Sunday night to early Monday morning. That's going to be rain that freezes on contact because the ground temperatures are also very cold. How much are we expecting? Well, it really depends on how much time we do spend below that freezing mark. Once we can actually get above freezing sometime by Monday, late morning or early afternoon, then eventually things are going to start to get a lot better. So we are likely going to see a lot of slick spots, those bending tree limbs. Storm trackers are going to be out, so we're going to have to watch that very closely. In the meantime, we're at 20 degrees. That wind is out of the north at 17 miles an hour, gusts a little higher, so it only feels like the single digits. We've got mid-teens in the northeast. We've got mid and upper 20s in the southwest, teens and low 20s across the northwest. Big difference compared to where we were this time yesterday. We're 22 degrees colder than at noon yesterday, but there are several spots that are anywhere between about 25 to almost 30 degrees colder, especially just off into eastern Oklahoma. There's that north wind still between about 15 to 25 miles an hour, and eventually that will subside a little bit more here later this afternoon and evening, but still giving us a lot of wind chills in the single digits. There are still a couple of spots in northeast Oklahoma where it feels a couple of degrees below zero, but at least it feels like the mid and upper teens across the Red River, so a little bit of improvement down there. But yeah, everything pretty quiet across the central and southern plains right now. Our next storm system, it's out in the Pacific, so it's going to take some time before it does get here. So up until that happens, it's going to be pretty quiet this weekend, although a little chilly. But how much rain are we looking at? Well, it does look like a good rain for us. By the time it's all said and done, it does look like we could at least see maybe around just under half of an inch here in Oklahoma City, with higher amounts off to the south and east. Right now, it looks like Tuesday into Wednesday afternoon are looking drier for us before the next wave moves in on Thursday. So today, looking for a high of about 24 degrees in Oklahoma City. We're going to stay in the teens in Miami, but the low 30s in the south and west. Overnight tonight, that wind's going to be pretty light. I think we're going to be dropping back down to about 11 degrees in Oklahoma City, but for Miami, 9 in Ponca City, 9 in Enid, about 15 tomorrow morning in Lawton. Tomorrow afternoon, temperatures in the upper 20s. Again, it's going to be cold, but quiet, so not that big of a deal. But by Sunday afternoon, temperatures do make it into the mid 30s in Oklahoma City. Now we're looking at 40s across most of western Oklahoma. But by the time we get into Sunday evening, here comes the freezing rain out of south central Oklahoma. By the time we get into Sunday night and Monday morning, the coverage is going to expand. Everything's going to move off to the north and east. Now, parts of northwest Oklahoma, we are just expecting just a cold rain. But by Monday afternoon, we eventually should get above freezing, so everything's going to transition to a plain rain here in Oklahoma City, but just off to the north and east. That's where we will still have at least some freezing rain. Well, how much are we looking at? Well, as of right now, those amounts are starting to go up. We could see around 1/4 of an inch of ice here in Oklahoma City. That could cause a lot of problems, while just off to the east, just south of I-44, we could potentially see up to around 1/2 of an inch, and that would cause a whole lot of problems. So Monday morning, we will likely see some slick spots, so that's why our storm trackers will be out all over it as we get all the way to at least about Monday afternoon. So again, Sunday night into Monday morning, that's going to be our biggest issue with that light ice coming in. It's 100% definitely happening. How long is it going to happen and how much we get to see? Well, that will change over the next few days, so you have to pay close attention to that. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be dry but cold, and by Thursday, temperatures in the mid 40s. So that will be just a plain rain, which will be a much welcomed forecast. And then after that, it looks like temperatures kind of hold steady, but not a whole lot of storm systems coming in by that next weekend.
I see people pulling out crock pots to make the soup again this weekend.
I know, it's going to be so cold again.
All right, thanks so much, Cass. After the break, we get to meet our pet of the week.